Okay, what's up, guys? My mic might die during this. It's got a little scary red light on it, so I plugged it in for like about 7 minutes and then got impatient and unplugged it. And we're just gonna see how long this video goes. And if it if it dies before that, so be it. Hi, hope you're doing well. It's been a minute. Wanted to record a little video here because for all of my adoring fans, I have to address what's been going on. Where'd I go? I started making videos and I disappeared. No, but I did start this content creation stuff and I was going pretty hard with it, and then all of a sudden things stopped. And there's a few reasons I want to go into. It's not really going to be all about me. Mainly, I want to talk more deeply about, give a little update. Actually, you know what? This video is going to be about me. I want to give a little update, and then I also want to give a bit of a backstory about a little more about my mental health journey and some addiction stuff, and we're going to talk about the future. So, where'd I go? First off, where'd I go? Started this content stuff full steam, so much enthusiasm, so much joy around it, so much creative energy flowing. And right around that time, I had been going through a breakup as well. And that came to a real final close. And there was a lot of intense emotion around that, which led me to kind of fall back into some coping behaviors. Although it wasn't that. That was just one piece. Additionally, what had happened is I had just picked up this new van that I'm converting to fuck off and travel the world in. And that was a big jump for me. It's a big project. It takes a lot of time. And so I was already kind of like up here in terms of my personal capacity. And then the craziest thing happened. I got an email from a world renowned health detox coach, Josh Mason. Some of you may know him. And he's quite famous for his, at this point, his work. He's worked with elite entrepreneurs, celebrities. He's been on podcasts with Darian, Oline, and a bunch of others. Anyways, I get an email from him. Rewinding 6 months, I had actually applied to work with him. I'd applied twice and actually went through interviews once with one of his team members. And right when I got into my tech sales role, I also applied to work with Josh Mason and join the Detox Dudes. And at that time, I felt pretty qualified, but I was not sure if I was going to be able to stand out. So I tried really hard because I know a lot of people are actively applying all the time. And so I sent videos and emails and follow ups and whatever. And, anyways, fast forward 6 months, just a few weeks ago, I get an email from Josh, and Josh says, "Hey, Ryan, you still want that role you applied for?" And of course I did. So that led into a whole series of events of quitting my very comfortable tech job to jump into this, what you could call a startup environment and work in customer success and sales for Josh. And being that my capacity was already kind of up here, and the videos were taking about this much extra, which was great. I needed it as a great release. This job transition just it took the rest. It took the rest. I have been working 12-hour days. I have been like just absolutely maxed out. And so now just going on to my third week at the company, I'm feeling kind of settled in. Things are going well. Thanks for asking. Going very well so far. And I'm really loving it. And I think I'm performing. I'm happy with my performance. It's going to get better, but I'm happy with it. And I think now is the time to make some more videos. So that's kind of what's up. On a bigger note, when we talk about like this, when I come on here and talk, and when I try and give advice and like share anecdotes and research or whatever it is, I wanted to like contextualize that a little bit. Um, Gosh, I didn't have much of a plan for this video. But before we started this video, I was actually sitting on my couch narrating a video to nobody. I was just monologuing out loud. And that's when I realized I should probably like get the camera and just start to monologue out of camera. But of course, when the camera comes out, the nerves come out a little bit and things get a little bit jammed up. I'm still working on that. So I want to give a bit of context. When you get this verse in a topic, and for me, that's health and wellness and psychology and mental health and philosophy. It usually comes with a reason, right? Like sometimes it's just pure interest, but humans are selfish creatures at some level. We do things because they're relevant to us. And for me, it was relevant to me to learn all this stuff because I was somebody who dealt with it all. I was the guy who dealt with chronic anxiety, super self-hatred, like could not love myself. I was the guy who was so insecure. And just, I was the guy who dealt with the addictions, who wanted to fit in, who would be the guy to do something crazy or to get blackout drunk in a big group of people he doesn't know. Or, I was that guy. And it led to lots of addiction problems and it led to a lot of mental health problems. And I hit a breaking point where I was at pretty much an all-time low. So a few years ago. And I, at that point, knew lots of stuff about spirituality and like wellness, but not that much. And I just tried all the medications. I tried pretty much everything I could. And nothing was solving the problem. And so I ended up going down the wellness rabbit hole as a sort of last resort. I remember it clear as day. I was up all night playing video games. Or I was in my room all day playing video games. Excuse me, I should say. I was in my room all day playing video games. And at the end of the day, and it was like midnight, and I thought to myself, I just hated this entire day. I just hated the whole day. I wanted to jump out of my skin. I was just trying to avoid everything that existed. Like, I hated that day. And I've been living that day out for like a year. Like, what am I doing? Like, what's going on? Like, what? Like, this can't be it. This cannot be my life. And that led to me staying up all night researching, like, okay, how do I cure myself? Because clearly, like, the cures are not cures. The cures out there are not cures. I'm sorry to say, but they help a lot of people, and the medications can be really great in some circumstances, but they are not the cure. They are a Band-Aid to what is at a deeper core level going on. Also want to address, like, I got really greasy hair right now. I just literally, like, have not showered today. I, like, woke up and just, like, started my day. I was, like, out with my cousin last night. I was super late. We were, like, celebrating his birthday, so I'm, like, a bit grungy right now. Hope you don't mind. But it was, like, a real problem. Like, I realized at that point that I had a problem, like, that I had to solve it. And after going deep down the rabbit hole, I found wellness. I found supplementing. I found things on detox and fasting and gut health and inflammation, deficiencies, like all these things that are very well talked about now. Like, I came across all this a few years, it's been years now, but it's about maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And it, like, changed my life overnight. I went out the next day, I bought all these supplements, and I started taking them, and I felt better instantly. And why? Because I was depleted. For sure, I was depleted. And I didn't know that. I spent all this time suffering, not knowing that I was just down in some minerals. I was down in some vitamins. And that took me from, like, operating at, like, 20%. I was probably at 20%. And that took me to, like, probably 60, 70%. I was feeling pretty fucking good. And when you're at 20%, 70% feels really good. Like, you are on top of the fucking world at 70%. And I was bouncing for like a 6 months to a year after that. I went back to school. I finished a degree. I started a business. Like, shit was great. And then I was up and downs in there too. And throughout that process, lots of trauma and things to process as well. But all I'm trying to say is, fast forward to, like, now, and what's relevant now is, like, for me, part of this rebuild process was like finding a path and finding a career, finding something that was meaningful. And I've been able to land on sales as a trajectory in that direction because I know that's a valuable skill. It's something I like. And it allows me to get into the right places where I can be of use to an entrepreneur I respect and hopefully allow myself to grow and flourish into other areas and to be able to do a little bit more down the road. But right now, this is kind of like, this is the skill set to hone. The other piece is that it allows me to basically travel and work, and it's performance based, which is great. It's like entrepreneurship. The more you put in, the more you get. And I love that. Like, that's exactly what I want. So I grinded to get into sales proper. I grinded for my tech job. Shout out to Chad Myers, who got me the system that led me to get that job in like 4 weeks. Coming from a non-tech, non-sales job before that. So shout out Chad Myers. I'll go into that story another day. We'll talk about it. He's a fucking legend. I love that guy. He's a homie. And anyways, when I went through all these processes and now transitioning again into what is literally was my dream job, it was my North Star. Like, this is where I want to go. It would be great if I could land there. Well, now I'm there. And the funny thing is when you get locked in that way on like, this is what I need to do, there's some things that fall. Then there's some allowances that you can make for yourself. In my case, getting into such a high performing job where you really have to be on, funny enough, the only way my nervous system could handle that amount of stress was to allow myself some of the luxuries that I know are not really aligned with my future path. Things like fast food or video games, stuff that I don't really even care about or like enjoy that much, but that provide a sense of security and comfort that is very essential when you're stretching yourself in that way. And for me, these roles and what I've been doing is a huge stretch, coming from a place of just very dysregulated nervous system, very anxious, very like just a lot of emotional turbulence. And so when you go through a job change and you invest like 12 grand into a van and you are planning travels and you're like learning new skills that are hard skills that require you to show up, for me, what I had to do was allow myself the space and the grace of, hey, you know what, man, you can chill on a Sunday and play video games if you need to, or you can eat that shitty food if you need to. But unfortunately, what that led to was like I put on 45 pounds last year. Like I put on 45 pounds. I went from 173 to like 216. I was actually probably almost 220 at one point. Huge jump, like insane. And my lean weight, like when I'm lean, I'm close, like 175 is like I'm lean, you know? And proud to say I'm down over 20 pounds since the beginning of the year. So that's been a rocky road in of itself. I'll talk about it in another video. Down 20 pounds. Going to be down another 20 pounds. I'm actually pretty locked in now. So I think I'll be down 20 pounds more in, we'll say 10 weeks. Probably like 10 weeks. So come end of September, something like that, I'll be like 175 probably. So anyways, I digress. I've had these allowances going. And some of them have, they create their own problems too, right? You avoid things, you put things on the back burner, you just want to comfort yourself and soothe and self-soothe, and they aren't healthy coping mechanisms, but they do work. So I allowed them. Now I'm at a point where they can no longer be allowed. And when you build momentum in something, it's going to be a directed effort to change that. Just like it was a directed effort to change eating 3,500 calories a day to eating 1,600 calories a day. It didn't happen in one night. It happened in like 3 months because it took a long time to get to that point. It takes a long time to correct that habit, at least in a way that's meaningful, in a way that's going to last. So what's happening now? Where's the channel going? Where am I going? What's the content about? Whatever. So what's happening now? I'm in the wellness world. I work for Josh Mason. Great company, great team. We have clients all over the world heal themselves, heal their nervous systems, heal their gut, extract parasites, heavy metals, you name it, we are doing it. And it's fucking excellent work. Elite protocols, thousands of testimonials. Awesome place to be. Loving it. Okay. We're building out a van. I'm going to fucking bounce in the van as soon as that's ready. Come probably about October, we're bouncing. Okay. In the meantime, what's going to happen? We're going to be leaning into fitness, exercise, nutrition content, and just lifestyle. I should just focus on the lifestyle for now when you talk about the content. I'm leaning into fitness, nutrition, detox, essentially. Trying to undo a bit of the garbage that went through my body for the last year. And then processes before that as well. So I'm going through a deep detox. And at the same time, I'll be doing a lot more of a deep dive into more like personal development. There's things I've always wanted to be excellent at. For example, I was always a really nervous, shy guy, or not shy, but I was very awkward. I always felt like I wasn't enough. So when it came to talking to women, I was always never felt good about myself or like I could do it. So that's a funny goal that I've always had, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to learn how to talk to girls. I'm going to do thousands and thousands of conversations until I get it right. So I'm excited about that. I think that'll be fun. And I'm going to do a lot more travel. So travel's going to be huge in the next year of my life. I'm going to, travel all around North America, into South America. I'm going to do some European travel, most likely. I would like to do Bali. I'd like to do Ibiza. I'd like to do Gold Coast, Australia, probably. Lots of places I want to go. So I'll be doing a lot of that as well. And really leaning into how do we get from a sort of non-starter place where you can be called failure to launch, where when you're a developing child into your young adult and then adult life, when you don't follow the trajectory of getting a job and getting out into the world in a meaningful way, you're considered a failure to launch. Something went wrong. And in my case, I know I'm wrong, right? I got mentally ill. I got addicted. I was a failure to launch. I did not launch into the world. So now I'm launching into the world. And so that's really exciting. I'm a completely different person now, much more healed, much more ready. And so it's going to be great, a great journey. And all through that process, I will be working on disciplining myself spiritually and working on building out my more aligned nervous system regulating coping mechanisms and practices, breath work, meditation, journaling, getting back into those, because those are when I feel my absolute best. I'll be dropping all the bullshit. I'll be focusing on this van build. I'll be focusing on working out, cold plunging, getting outside, and fucking crushing it at my job. And then I'm going to do a couple shows, couple concerts, see some friends, stay social, and really, really, really just excited to share more again and get back on the creative vibe. I'll share a lot about my journey. I'll share, how I got myself out of the pits of despair. I'll get more into the mental health and share with you what my experience was and what I think you should do if you're having mental health problems from a holistic perspective, and from somebody who's been to the school, who's been on the medications, who's done the research, and now is in holistic nutrition and medicine, essentially. My mic's going to die. The light's flashing. That means it's going to die, I think. But really excited to share all this with you guys. I fucking love every one of you that watches this. I think life is just going to be so great. It is so great. And, dude, I'm stoked that I get to share this with people. I'm stoked I get to record this. And I'll try and even document the hard days, because I do have a problem with only wanting to share the good stuff. So it's hard to share the bad stuff, because there is bad stuff as well. But right now we're focused on the optimism. We're going to keep going. So love you guys. That's what's up. We're going to try and get back to a video a week. And but I'm going to keep it fun. So whatever feels right, I'm going to do. And yeah, looking forward to the next journey. This journey ahead is going to be a big one. So, love you guys. Wu-Tang forever. Wu-Tang is for the children. And stay blessed. It's a good life. Okay, bye.